This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, February 10th, 2011. I'm your host, Peter Bush. In the Fenice Monitor today, we'll talk to Aaron Peirsol. The news broke on the Morning Swim Show last week that after 7 Olympic medals, including 5 gold over 3 Olympics, Aaron's retiring from swimming, and we are honored right now to have the greatest backstroker in history join us in the Fenice Monitor. Aaron, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
So Eddie let the cat out of the bag a little bit on the show.
I guess. Not really. You know, I was telling you just a minute ago, the people that needed to know kind of already knew, and that was my main objective to begin with, and it's probably just as well, absolutely.
All right, so describe the moment when you just knew.
It was a pretty gradual thing, actually. It's probably built up over a matter of years, and it just got to a point where I would eventually, occasionally feel like, yeah, I think this is it, and it was certainly not very spontaneous. It was actually something that I think for a lot of people, surprised, but it's, I kept it pretty close to my chest for a long time, and was probably going to for a long time to continue. And it's something I've already kind of come to grips with, I guess.
So why now? I mean, people will ask in the middle of an Olympic cycle, did you just think, hey, great way to end 2010 Pan Pacs at my home pool, or hey, what do I need to win another Olympic gold medal for? Was that play a factor?
It was just the right time. Yeah, I think what you said kind of was a good summarization of it. I was in a position to end my career on my own terms. There was something extremely poetic about, I could tell even after 2009 I was feeling in a certain way. And I was looking, I was like, next year is going to be a meet at my home pool. And it was me, kind of strange way, kind of almost coming full circle with it all, and it was somewhat poetic in that regard. It wouldn't have meant as much to me finishing in Shanghai or London, and it felt right in that way. I could physically stay around for another 2 years, I'm sure, but I wasn't sure I could set a goal that I was willing to stick around for another 2 years, and that, to be honest, felt good. I was wondering whether I'd feel content with that, and yes, I did. It felt good to say that I had nothing really to try to strive for in the next 2 years. I felt like I had accomplished more or less everything I had set out to accomplish. So.
Is there any chance you walk away if you don't win that last event at Pan Pacs?
I'm sorry?
Is there any chance you walk away had you not won the gold at Pan Pacs?
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't even the objective this summer, to be honest. I mean, I wanted to do as good as I possibly could. I wanted to win. I wanted to do what I felt like I was capable of doing. But yes, that wasn't even the object. For me, it was more of, I felt like I had done the work. I felt like I had, I felt myself. I even think I was starting to kind of allude to this for the last year. I felt like I was becoming nostalgic in a way, and in that way, it was a very kind of comforting feeling for me. This was something, as I said, I was kind of gradually coming to grips with over years of me thinking, what is next, and eventually coming to the notion that I think it's time.
From inside the swimmer circle, do you get the phone call, the text message from Michael Phelps or Ryan Lochte when the news comes out and they know as well?
I've gotten some great calls. Nothing I was expecting. Of course, I wasn't expecting for it to come out the way it did, but it was. That's been very neat in that regard. And hearing from people that I swam with 10 years ago on the international level, guys from other countries, and guys that meant a lot to me. I had a ton of respect for when I was growing up, and that was stuff like that means a lot. There's a lot I have to be thankful for this sport, everything, and I could leave this sport, and I am, with just an incredible good feeling about it. And the people that I've met along the way, and the friendships I've made, and it's a wonderful thing. People who've come to this point, it just kind of, when it's time, and the support's been pretty cool. It's been really interesting.
Is there even a 5% chance we see you again trying for 2012, 2016?
I don't know what the percentage chance would be, but at this point, I could never let anyone prove me wrong. The cat's out of the bag. No, like I said, this is something that you may have heard last week, but I came to grips with months ago, and no, I don't know how else to put it. I guess I still swim. I still love to swim. I still swim probably 4 days a week, and I always will. I really don't feel like I'm leaving the sport in that regard. I will always have some kind of emotional investment in it, and in the water in general. But the competitive aspect of it is something that I feel like I've moved on from, in a way, and now I can go swim outside and do 20 bobs up and down, and go get and be out in the sun, and do other things that have been something that I've been putting aside for, I feel like, maybe too long now, and that was a massive part of this. The scale started to tip, and as far as what I was willing to sacrifice for what I was, what I had to do to be on top. And I was always going to be in the sport as long as I give 110%. And, there were other things I was willing to invest that much emotional energy into now. And I don't know, it felt good. It felt good to have that kind of resolve about it too. I was curious if I would actually know when. So
what's the big plan? Doing some traveling, or are you going to enter the job market? What do you think? I did just, so to speak, hang it up about 8 months ago. I submitted applications for grad school this past fall. I already have done a pretty good amount of traveling. I just drove the Southwest for the past 6 weeks, saw my sister and everybody else, and as of right now, it's a great time to decompress. I think, if anything, what this time has afforded, what this has given me, is the time to take the ability to take my time. These last few years, I have been thinking about what I'm going to be doing after swimming, and I was pretty resolute in what it was I wanted to do, and that's what I'm working on right now. And that's I think what made it so easy for me to be able to be so comfortable with this decision, and just to know that I had other interests that were harder and harder to kind of push aside for that much longer. And right now, enjoy this transitional period, so to speak. The first big one of my life. It's been cool. It's been fun. And I don't know, kind of have a feeling, you can do anything it is you want to do, which is neat. And, it's not every, I haven't felt that, I don't think, in a long time. So. All right, well, we've planned a morning swim show first here. We went through the Swimming World archives, and we've pulled out some pictures from you throughout the years, from all the way back.
You're going to pull a montage?
We're going to pull a little slideshow here. You ready for this? You ready?
Yeah, shoot, go for it.
All right, so this is the first picture. You remember what meet that was?
Gosh, goodness gracious. No, I'm gonna say it was. No, I actually don't. I don't remember what meet that was.
You had a lot more hair back then, Aaron.
Yeah, it was a whole different shade as well. Amazing.
All right, so there's you as just an age grouper. You know, people are just starting to get the name Aaron Peirsol etched in their minds.
I was young. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one here. All right, you remember this one?
Very cool. No. I mean, no, but
We're pretty sure that's 2000 Olympic trials. You've still got all the Nova Aquatics gear on.
Yeah, no, I was definitely still around 17 or 18, and yeah, I look pretty happy. It looks like I was doing all right, That's yeah, that's great.
All right, we'll go to the next one here. You're already hooking them horns right there.
Yeah, I do. I remember that. That was in Fort Lauderdale in 2001?
2002.
2002, right. The spring before I came to Texas. And that was 100 back right there. I do remember that. Gray out, that was a ton of fun, that little race right there. Mostly because it was outside. But, yeah, that's Lenny in the foreground right there. And, yeah, that was a fantastic little race right there.
All right, we'll go to the next one. All right, well, we all know what that is based on what you're wearing on your head.
Yeah, maybe the most memorable meet of my entire life right there. A friend of mine showed me, or he popped in the DVD of Athens the other night, and that was very cool. It was pretty neat that, for one, he did that, but it kind of brought back a whole flood of emotion. It was very cool.
You think best meet of your life?
Most interesting meet of my life, I think. Fascinating and just enjoyable in its own way. It was incredible. Just the kind of, just the kind of interesting events that happened all week, and the where it was in Athens and the Olympics and all that. That is hard to beat. It was pretty fantastic.
All right, we'll go to the next one here. All right, now we think this is 09 Nationals after you broke the world record.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
It probably never gets old breaking that world record.
It doesn't. No, it never does. And I was fortunate to feel, always feel that. And, that's why you keep going back to the pool every day. It's a big reason of it. Yeah, that
you were pretty. We remember you being pretty emotional after this swim.
That swim was probably one of the better swims of my career, actually. 09 was probably one of the better years of my career. And that's why after 09, it felt I was really having trouble figuring out what it was I was going to stick around for the next 2 years. Because I felt like I don't know, I was kind of coming to grips with could I go any faster, and it felt good to say that. I was going times I had set out for myself that when I was 10 years old that I never thought I would really do. and that swim right there was one of the best swims of my career.
How long do you think your world records stand?
I have no idea. Probably it could stand for a year. It could stand for a little bit longer. It could stand for less. There's some amazing swimmers out right now, and there's always another generation to come up and swim you, and this new generation is they've grown up thinking 155 and the 200 back is slow, and that's what I had to do to break the world record, and so it's a great thing how the sport kind of cycles through itself in that way. People will go very fast very soon.
There were definitely some people who've been kind of waiting in the wings that were happy to hear that you're hanging it up. But
I don't know. Everyone's always had their chance,
Yeah.
and um, I think that this is, yeah, this is everyone I've always raced that pushed me to do what I feel like I was finally capable of doing. It was.
All right, let's go to one more photo here. I think we have a couple more, but this is, obviously, as you can see from the starting blocks, this was perhaps the best meet of your life. This was Rome in 2009, when you told us that you found this gear that you'd never felt, or that you hadn't felt in years.
Yeah, no, the best, one of the better 200s I've ever swum, for sure. Maybe, and certainly, yeah, I would say so. And very happy to come out on top in the field that I was swimming against, with Ryan and Rosuke, and I was very proud of this summer in general. Very, very content with it all. Yeah, that was a great race.
All right, I think we do have one more here. That was last summer. That was at home.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
you probably got some thoughts going through your head right then. This might be it.
No, that was exactly what was going on in my head. I was like, this is absolutely appropriate. And I could see the flag going up, over my home pool, and just thought, how can I not stop it here? I was so happy with how my career had gone, and nothing would mean more to me than coming full circle in that regard, and it was for me and for me alone at that meet, I guess, is just far as how I felt, and I eventually would let some people know about it, but yeah, that was a special moment.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the slideshow, Aaron.
That was cool, guys. Thank you.
Well, Aaron, it was fun taking that little trip down memory lane, and let's just say it's been a privilege watching you over the years.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
You're a class
Same.
guy in and out of the pool, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you. And, I do want to stress, too, that, I love this sport. This is not something that, I would love to go watch Olympic trials, the Olympics, and I will be. There's a lot of guys I'll be cheering for. I'm cheering for them all. And, I'm proud of this team, and I'm proud of this, how this country's done. And, I'm still rooting for them all.
Well, good luck with whatever your next step is.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Aaron Peirsol joining us in the Finis Monitor. And that is it for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.